Today, there's a heaviness in the air, like it's full of sadness about people being apart and the big space between two hearts that used to be close. This feeling shows what your loved one is going through. They feel very lonely, as if they are floating alone in a big, empty space. It seems like you might have made them feel like you're not paying attention to them, even if you didn't mean to. But remember, they have also played a part in creating this distance. For a while now, your loved one has been quiet and kept to themselves. You might think they don't care, but it's actually more complicated. They're not quiet because they don't care. They're quiet because they are thinking deeply. They've been looking inside themselves, trying to figure out how they feel about you and what went wrong between you two. This time of thinking hard about things has led them to some important realizations. They've seen that some things they did, which they thought were okay at the time, were actually selfish and not very mature. These actions, they now see, ended up hurting you and pushing you away. Their moments of being too proud or getting angry led them to make choices they now regret, choices that have made both of you feel farther apart. It's easy to see why you might be tired of all this back and forth, not knowing what they really want, and if things can ever be like they were before. Even with all these ups and downs, there is a change happening in them. They really want to fix things and go back to how close you once were. Your loved one is at a point where they want to mend what was broken and hold onto the love that means so much to both of you. The realization of how their ego and past mistakes hurt you has been a big wake-up call for your loved one. They're now ready to take full responsibility for the pain they've caused. Their silence isn't just about being overwhelmed anymore. It's a signal that they need to change things. They're tired of the bad cycle of misunderstandings and not acting that has damaged your relationship. They know that not talking has made things worse, making the distance between you feel even bigger every day. The quiet has become too much to bear, and they understand how serious it is if they keep doing nothing. Each day they don't speak, they worry more about losing you, and it affects every choice they make. They really want to fix the emotional gap between you, and it's not just because they're desperate. They deeply want to know where you stand, if your love has lasted, and if it still shines as brightly as before. They see you as someone strong and protective, like a queen who guards her world well. You've put up these walls for good reasons, because of the hurt they caused. This makes it hard for them to get close to you again. Yet, deep down, they want to show you a side of them you haven't seen much, where they're soft and open, not just the tough exterior they often show. They've been hiding behind a mask for so long, a mask they used to keep from facing rejection or fights. But now, filled with regret and hope, they're ready to take off that mask. They want to be real with you, to show their true feelings and let you see the honest truth of their heart. This change is a big deal. It means they're moving away from being too proud and protective of themselves to a way of living that's more open and loving. They're tired of letting their ego lead and hiding their true feelings. They know that to make things right with you, they need to be open, to let you in, and to share everything that's on their mind. They're clear about what they want now, to rebuild what you had, one step at a time, even if it's tough and there are setbacks. Fixing and reconnecting isn't easy or quick. There will be mistakes and doubts, but they're ready to face them. Whether you let them back into your life or not, it's clear they're now choosing to be honest and open. They're ready to bare their soul to save the connection they almost completely lost. They've admitted they regret leaving when things got too hard. Back then, they thought leaving was their only option, feeling trapped by tough situations. Now, they see how much that choice cost them. Without you, their life has felt chaotic and empty, and nothing has managed to fill the void you left. Their guilt over leaving keeps reminding them of the strong bond you once had, a bond they damaged with their own pride and arrogance. They want to try to understand and fix the wrongs they've done. They're prepared to deal with the hurt they've caused and are committed to building a healthier and more even relationship. They also know this has to be a two-way street. It's important for you to think about if what they're doing now fits what you need, your limits, and how you see your future emotionally. Their wish to reconnect comes from a deep, lasting love that keeps them going despite all the hard times. They miss the close connection you once had, and they feel a big emptiness without it. They used to think, maybe wrongly, that you would never leave no matter what they did. They never imagined you could move on without them. Seeing how your life has changed, they now painfully realize what their decisions have cost them. They want to start by sincerely apologizing, recognizing the lies they told both you and themselves. Denial used to keep them from seeing the truth about how deep your connection was and their own fears. But they can't hide from the truth anymore. They now understand that your relationship is more than just physical. It's a deep, spiritual bond that changes the meaning of love. This understanding has given them the courage to break free from the toxic cycles of their past. They see that the painful patterns are gone, broken by the strong impact you've had on them. Your presence has inspired a big change in them, pushing them to become better. They realize that the love you shared is a gift that has driven them to live a life that honors your relationship even when apart. You were always on their mind. Quietly, they've been watching your life from a distance, feeling joy and sadness when they see your happiness online. Your happiness and the brightness you show comfort them, but they also fear that you might have moved on, finding the peace and love they couldn't give you before. Many times, they've wanted to reach out, to let you know they are still here and that the spark between you isn't gone. But they've held back, worried about disrupting your peace or reopening old wounds. Now, as they prepare for a new start, they're planning how to come back to you fully, not just halfway. They know that to offer anything less wouldn't be fair to the love you deserve. You should get all of them, their heart, mind, and soul, a full offering that shows how much they've changed and how committed they are. Despite their doubts, they're determined to be the partner you were promised, honoring your past and the future you might share. As they wrestle with their thoughts, they keep wondering, are you still open to listening after all this time? Have you moved on to a life where there's no room left for the love you both once knew? These tough questions are hard for them, but also push them to think about the future, a future that still holds possibilities. They've come to see their journey isn't just about fixing their own mistakes, but about truly honoring how you feel and the path you both might still share. If you found happiness on your own, they promise not to mess that up. Instead, they want to be part of a healing that looks at both the pain from before and the hope for what could still come. This struggle has forced them to look at parts of themselves they'd often ignored: their pride, their fears, and how they've run away from real feelings. Facing these truths has been tough but necessary. They've learned that love isn't just about feeling, it's about doing, actively loving, growing together, and making changes for a future together. Even from afar, you've taught them a lot about being open, honest, and the power of true connections. Every moment apart, every misunderstanding has led them to a point where they can't just make excuses anymore. Your influence has pushed them to grow deeply, making them want to overcome their fears. Now, they dream of a future filled with hope, where the love you started burns even brighter, a life full of laughter, love, and deep closeness that comes from facing challenges together. They don't just want to go back to how things were. They want to build something new, better, and free from the old mistakes. A future full of endless possibilities. At the heart of all this is their desire to share everything with you again. They want to talk about their dreams, plans that include your happiness as a crucial part. They hope to have a real talk with you, to put back together the pieces of your relationship in a way that respects both of your journeys. But they're also scared. They worry about rejection, about upsetting the stable life you've built, and whether you're even open to having them back. These fears mix into a tough battle inside them. Yet, underneath it all, there's a steady hope that one day, when the time is right, the light from your shared past will lead them back to you. This balancing act between hope and fear is delicate. They want to respect the new boundaries you've set and the healing you've gone through. At the same time, the strong pull of the love that remains is tough to ignore. This tension, this push and pull, keeps reminding them of what was lost and what could possibly be found again. As they keep moving forward on their own journey of self-discovery and change, they make a promise to you and to themselves. They vow to do whatever it takes to become the person you deserve, someone who can honor the depth of your bond and give you their whole heart. Their actions now truly reflect the deep love they feel for you. They've decided to stop letting pride and fear control their future together with you. Their heart, though scarred from past troubles, beats strongly with a new purpose: to fix what's been broken and to rebuild the strong bond that is so important to them. As time moves on, there's a clear change inside them, a slow shift toward being more open, clear, and honest emotionally. They've begun to understand that every quiet moment, every break in talking, wasn't the end but a needed pause, a chance to understand the truth and face their mistakes head on. This path they're on takes time and a firm commitment to change. The road ahead might be full of unknowns, but it also holds the promise of a fresh start, a chance to honor the love you once shared and to open the door to a hopeful future. When they're alone, they often think back to the times you both laughed together and the deep talks that brought warmth and understanding between you. These memories, both happy and sad, light their way, reminding them that despite everything, a strong bond still exists. This connection, formed in passion and tested by life's challenges, motivates them to be better, to rise above their past errors. They want to leave you with one clear truth, a truth that, despite the rocky journey you've both been on, hasn't changed. You are deeply loved. The love between you isn't held back by misunderstandings or past wounds. It's expansive, tough, and transformative. They're committed to respecting this love by dropping what no longer helps them, by stepping away from past regrets. Every day, they strive to embrace a new energy, moving closer to the light that you bring into their life. They promise that when the right moment comes, they'll approach you fully prepared, with an open heart, a clear mind, and a spirit free from old burdens, ready to share everything honestly. They plan to show you their dreams for the future, dreams that now include you as an essential partner. Until then, they ask for your patience and understanding, hoping you'll see the real efforts they're making to rebuild the trust and closeness that once defined your relationship. The journey you've taken together might have had its quiet times and distances, but the lasting glow of your connection remains bright. It's a beacon, showing that despite the separation and loss, there's hope for coming back together and starting anew. They dream of building a life with you, a life full of growth and limitless possibilities, where every laugh shared and every quiet moment together proves the enduring strength of love.